I remember one restaurant I went to, they had all kinds of animals in front, and you could like pick, like snakes,
Wait, were they alive? Like,
alive,
kill
in like
them?
cages or water,
Oh my god.
and you're like, you
Hell
could pick. I'm like,
nah.
I don't know if I
No,
could do
thank
this.
you. How's your day going?
My day's amazing. I slept in last night or this morning, and then got me a good breakfast. And the sun's out, so
You a morning person?
I am now. I never was till
Damn.
like my 30s.
What made you become a morning person?
It just feels better knocking stuff out early, you know.
I mean, yeah, I'm not a morning person.
Yeah, late night.
My brain does not work till like 11 a.m. But like I could pull all-nighters with ease.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I used to be able to, but now I be hurting.
I guess the older you get, it's like
Yeah.
some
I used
things
to
you
be
can't
up
do
so
anymore.
late too, like night owl.
Yeah.
But now like I can't be a night owl and a morning person, so
That's the thing. You can balance out both. I like when it's silent at night though.
that's my favorite, absolute favorite.
That's when I work. That's when my brain is like
Same.
past 10 p.m. It's like, okay, it's time.
Then also like gym in the morning.
Yeah.
Something I have to give something up, you know.
I get it. I'm not there yet, but I admire when people.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm figuring it out too.
Can you just give us a little background to like who you are, like who ESTA, the producer, is, and your journey so far?
I'm from Los Angeles. I've lived all over California, but I discovered producing in Temecula, where I went to high school. It's like in the desert between Riverside and San Diego. I wanted to be a DJ first, but the equipment was too expensive. So I illegally downloaded Fruity Loops.
Fruity Loops.
Yeah, and I just got addicted, and then yeah, put music up on MySpace and YouTube, that whole thing, and
it just started growing from there.
yeah, just that selection.
Yes.
From selection,
That's
got
actually
the
how I know
DJ.
you.
Oh, yeah?
I used to
Yeah.
watch like your sets
Oh wow.
on Selection.
Yeah, so funny, I did end up being a DJ kinda, but
Yeah.
I'm just still lucky to be doing it.
Did you have a musical background before producing? Do you play any instruments? Like,
Not really. I just loved music in high school. Like, you can catch me with my headphones on majority of the time, even in class. Like,
who was some artists that you were always like, what was your go-to?
Mos Def.
Okay.
Like, huge #1 Mos Def fan.
Okay, that's
Or
fine.
Yassine Bey. Yeah, I was just huge hip hop. Like Little Brother, I don't know if you remember Little Brother, huge fan.
I might not be old enough for that, but
Yeah, just because like at that time it was a lot of sample heavy producers that I looked up to. So I was just studying that a lot, just how they flip samples, and that was the studying I was doing at school that I
yeah.
shouldn't have.
I mean, well, right now you're a producer, so I guess it paid off.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
paid off listening to
Thankfully.
thankfully that amount of music. So I wanted to ask you, you just mentioned samples now. What does your creative process look like? Like, how do you work? Do you just like go like crate digging per se, or like how does that work for you?
I mean, sampling's tough now, you know, like clearing samples and all that.
It is.
But now it could just start off like any idea I have, I just act on it. Like it could be a drum idea, and then I could just leave it at that. I don't have to make a full beat. Like whatever I'm feeling, I just go with that. It could just be ambient sometimes, just making random sounds. Yeah, I just let myself run free creatively. And
It's pretty cool. So just a little bit of everything, really.
yeah, I just try and give myself grace in the creative space.
If someone who had never ever heard of you before asked you to describe your sound to them, how are you gonna do that?
I usually just say it's R&B or like neo soul if they're knowledgeable, you know. But yeah, that's like the root of it. It's just R&B.
R&B, straight up. So I was listening to your debut album, Francis, that just dropped. Amazing, by the way. I loved the selection of artists that you chose to work with. How does that go for you? Like, when you're producing a song, do you start out with an artist in mind, knowing that, okay, they're gonna sound good on this? Or do you just do your thing and afterwards you're like, okay, who will sound good on this beat that I created?
Some of them work that way, yeah. like Too Fast, the first single with Joyce, I was like automatically Joyce.
Oh, okay.
The song after that, which is Jayla, automatically knew that was her.
Okay.
Some of them were just like, we were in sessions and I just played a beat and they liked it.
You're like, okay, I think you can hop on this.
Yeah, and they liked it too, so it just worked out. And then for Leon, I just sent the pack and he chose the one I liked.
Leon.
I really wanted, and it just worked out. So yeah, this whole thing came together so naturally. And
how long was between
Entire
conception and execution for this project?
like 2 years maybe.
Oh, wow.
2 years, but I wasn't like fully focused on it. I was just like, it was an idea and I was lightly like making ideas for it. And then within the last 9 months, that's when I started to really like lock
really
in
just
on it.
hone in on that.
Yeah, exactly.
It was really hard for me to pick a favorite on this
yeah.
album. Which one's your favorite right now? It might change, I know,
Yeah, it
of
changes
course.
a few times. It's always between the last song, Serenity, and See Through with Gwen Bunn.
I was hoping you'd mention that one.
See Through?
It's really good, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See
I
Through.
feel like that's a sleeper. A little sleeper.
I always like the sleepers
Yeah,
on
yeah.
projects, yeah. The one with Joyce was really good, by the way,
Thank you.
yeah.
That was fun.
Like Duckworth as well. I just I loved the selection.
Yeah, he went crazy too. That whole like outro section where it like slows down a little bit. That was freestyle. Duckworth freestyle.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa. I admire when people can do
I
that.
know. He's a beast.
Cause like I feel like if someone put me in the studio and it's like Elsie freestyle, like my brain would just
I know. Think
It
of
would
like
just shut up
dinner.
at
Yeah,
that
just think of
moment.
the randomest thing.
Yeah.
He went crazy. He blessed me. Like he only had a few hours because he was busy and he gave me time to, lay his verse and do his thing. So I'm grateful for that.
It's great. So I feel like producers are like very underappreciated, like the way I see it. We're seeing a lot of producers like come out into the limelight now. Metro is going crazy. K-Tronada, just also dropped a project that's just going crazy. And we're seeing producers like scaled to like these new heights. Is that something that, you see for yourself, or would you just like to, just
I'm definitely the type to just be in the background.
yeah.
But I was, given this platform to showcase my work, so I didn't want to disrespect it. I try to really showcase my sound and put people I'm a fan of on my production. But yeah, as far as like producer albums, I love it. You get to showcase your sound and
kind of have a variety of people.
Yeah,
also
it's
kind
fun.
of because I feel like your sound is like the canvas and then the artists come and just paint and it's very beautiful. I really love that.
Yeah.
And all over my Twitter timeline, I have to tell you, like, everyone's talking about it. So
The
you're
album?
making an impact. Yes.
I hope so.
Like,
Yeah,
all
it's kind of
over.
crazy to me too, because my Twitter's not usually that popping no more. Like overnight, I'm just like, what?
What happened?
I know, but I'm so thankful people like it.
Yeah. What would you say is the most challenging thing about being a producer?
You kind of have to be on other people's time. You have to be okay with that and doing the best, like, when it is time. You have to be ready at all times, and you kind of have to be a therapist sometimes. You kind of have to be... Sometimes there's sessions where we don't make music, and it's just like chopping it up, hanging out.
Just talk, get to know the
Yeah.
artist.
And I think that's where the real work is. So when you create, it's like natural, like you have a bond with the person. You feel what they're feeling inside. Yeah, it's much deeper than just creating, I feel like.
That's very insightful. I actually had to take some time to kind of digest
Because
that.
you know how they say, like, or Rick Rubin's like, I don't play anything?
A lot of people have given him a lot of smoke for that.
Yeah, I'm like, if you can make an artist feel comfortable, I think you've done your job.
That's a big thing. Yeah, that's a big thing. Because I've noticed that, artists go through a lot, really. It's really not easy to be on a constant platform. So I really understand when people just want to take the back seat and just let the work speak for itself. Because the internet is a crazy place.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Since the album came out, I'm just like, what?
Did you drop it in, like, just, like, go off the grid? Or, like, have you been paying attention?
I'm definitely paying attention.
Yeah.
My screen time is so crazy right now. I'm not used to being on my phone this much, but when you put your little baby out there, you can't help but
and
wonder.
it's named after you.
Yeah, I try to make it very human, like
very personal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What would you say has been the most rewarding thing?
Oh,
We talked about the challenge. Now let's know what you enjoy the
love.
most.
Yeah, the love on The album, it's nothing but love. I haven't received no weird comments or anything, thankfully.
I mean, even if there's one negative comment, just block it out.
I'm good at not entertaining that stuff. But yeah, it's overwhelming how much love it's been getting. Like, I love how people can't, like everyone has a different favorite. I think that's so cool.
That's a good sign always. If everyone has because if everyone's saying the same song as your favorite, what's happened to the other songs on here?
But I'm happy about everything so far.
That's amazing. I want to ask, who are some producers like that? You said you grew up listening to a lot of music. Who are some that really just like made you like affirmed your belief that, okay, I'm gonna do this? Who are some of those that really defined that for you?
Dilla, of course.
Of course.
Just Blaze was a huge one for me. Ninth Wonder. Kanye is a crazy producer. Crazy producer.
When it comes down to that, yeah,
like some of his R&B songs, I just love it. Like Janet or was it Monica?
In the early 2000s, he went crazy, dude.
Crazy, and then he'll do a little feature verse too.
Brandy.
Oh yeah.
He went crazy on that. Yeah.
That's like my whole like. If I could clear samples, I would just be like sample-based producer.
How hard is the process of clearing?
It's hard. It's hard. The process is hard, and then they take a good percentage. But but it's cool. It's like it challenges me to like pick up instruments and work with musicians. It's cool.
Have you picked up any instruments recently?
In the past year, I would say bass. Yeah.
Oh, I love the bass guitar.
It's the best. I'm
Was
not
it
the best.
difficult to learn?
No, I would say anyone could pick it up. I love it because it's more of a feeling. Instead of like crazy musicianship.
Yeah, I started learning with the piano. That's what I learned when I was little. My dad forced me to go to classes, and then it's something I just picked up. Nice. But then I tried to learn the guitar, and it just never worked out for me.
I tried picking up guitar. It just still doesn't make sense to me. But I can.
So the bass is like really different then.
Definitely.
The guitar. Okay.
Yeah.
I will give that a try.
Yeah, pick the bass up and like play along with the song. It's so fun. I can do that for hours.
Do you pay a lot of attention to like current producers upcoming at this moment alongside yourself?
In the past year, I feel like I haven't really paid too much attention to like music in general.
Oh, okay.
I've really been focused on this, and if I do listen to stuff, it's like ambient music, which is something I'm really into. Or of course, like lyrics. Old music. Yeah, no lyrics, no drums, just textures. Yeah, I'm really big on that.
Anything you recommend?
There's a lot. There's so much. There's so many that like they have like crazy names too.
Yeah.
But I have an ambient project I released during the pandemic, just for people to meditate to. And
yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's something I should try.
Yeah, it's fun. Like.
Sometimes you don't want to hear lyrics.
Yeah.
You just want to hear a vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
And pick up on that. For any upcoming producers, a lot of people are picking up the career, the hobby. What would you say if you were to give them, a word of advice?
Keep experimenting. I think you get a little comfortable early on, like replicating other people's sounds. Like, of course, when I was coming up, I was like replicating Dilla and Ninth Wonder, like exactly. Which is okay at first because you want to understand their techniques and everything, but after a while you got to use those techniques to develop your own sound, and I think the only way to do that's experimenting, yeah.
I guess that's good advice, and I feel like for me as a creative, that also applies across everything, because I have people that I look up to, and initially you want to be just like them, but then you have to take those things that you've learned and kind of turn it into your own thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's easy to get comfortable when that works, when you start copying the strategy. Yeah,
but of course you want to make your own name.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to be known as that person's copy.
That person type beat.
Type beat. When all is said and done, let's say in 10 years, and you look back, like, where do you want to be,
I would still love to be doing this, just with more artists, I really love the connection part. Getting to know the artists, where they shine, where they're uncomfortable, and where they're willing to experiment and take risks. I think that's so fun. And then like going through that process together, I think is the best.
Interesting. Are there any dream collaborations for you?
Right now, anyone in TDE. I'm a huge TDE fan.
Okay. We're on the same page with that.
Yeah. D'Angelo, of course. There's still like random people that I would love to work with, like Ryan Leslie.
Okay. That's not too random. I could.
He changed the game for me because I was just sample based, and then when I discovered him, just how he like composed a lot, I was like, I have to learn. Shout out to his YouTube videos.
Shout out to Ryan Leslie. I guess I've wrapped up all my questions. Thank you so much for meeting with me today. And yeah, if you're watching this, please go stream his new project. It just dropped. It's called Francis. It is amazing. It has a very exquisite lineup of features that you would enjoy, especially if you love R&B. So yeah, and looking forward to catching your show.
Oh yeah, you got it
tonight. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, peace.